I'm Ed Bates from Kilworth Chiropractic Clinic, and welcome to today's Daily Dose. So, yesterday we talked about symptoms and how we need to use their warnings as feedback rather than ignoring or worse still, masking or numbing them. Sadly, when you mask or numb your symptoms, it's much like removing a battery from a smoke alarm. It may temporarily quieten the noise, but sooner or later, your house is going to burn down. In other words, it's not a smart and prudent move. And this is probably the biggest problem that we see with our traditional healthcare model, in that your symptom is regarded as your problem. In other words, all the attention and concern is only focused on the effect and not the cause. And to make matters worse, we have this obsession with labeling all these effects as our symptoms, our aches and our pains and our health challenges all have to have a name, because without a name, no one seems to know what to do with you. And as a society, we almost demand these labels and names. In fact, for some, their diagnosis, their label, if you like, almost becomes a badge of honor. Oftentimes they wear it with pride and use it as an excuse. It becomes part of them. But unfortunately, this can be to the detriment of their recovery and their healing. Why? Because one of the crucial and major components of healing is what you think about and what you focus on. In a previous video, we talked about the power of nocebo and placebo and how your thoughts change your physiology and how your thoughts affect your healing ability. In other words, what you think about, you bring about. So if your focus is what is wrong, then that is exactly what you will attract more of. You see, your brain cannot process a negative. For instance, if I tell you not to think about a yellow car, what do you think about? Exactly, a yellow car. If you're learning to drive and your instructor continually says, don't hit the curb, don't hit the curb, don't hit the curb, what do you hit? The curb. You're attracted to it. So where your attention goes, your energy flows. So rather than focus on what's not working or what is broken, it would be a lot better to focus on what is working. Simply, your mind plays such a huge role in your healing journey. And this can be as simple as your self-talk. So often our patients have a tendency to criticize or lambaste their own bodies and their own health when they're in pain, wanting to cut their own arms or legs off, or saying things like their low back is killing them. Well, if that's the program that's continually playing in here, well, that's exactly what's going to manifest. In other words, poor self-talk is a mistake, and we need to be more loving and caring to our own bodies. We need to acknowledge that our bodies are on a healing journey. And while sometimes it may be incredibly hard for you to have faith and trust in your own bodies, you need to learn to trust in its own powerful and healing ability. Now, that doesn't mean that you ignore the challenges. Far from it. It's important to acknowledge the difficulties, but focus on the process and the healing ahead, not necessarily just on the problem. Would you speak to your children like you speak to yourself? And on that note, have a great day. And as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. And we'll speak to you tomorrow.